The moment Brittney Griner walked off the court mouthing the words, "trash F-heading white girl," the internet exploded, and the WNBA stayed silent. That silence said more than any press release ever could. In a league that claims there's no place for hate, Griner's words were not only captured in HD, but seemingly swept under the rug without so much as a warning. No fine, no suspension, no league statement, nothing. And that nothing? It's louder than any buzzer. The double standard was too glaring to ignore. Imagine for a second if a white player had muttered the words, "trash black girl," during a heated matchup. They wouldn't make it to the post-game interview before the league had handed out a suspension, issued a press release, and launched a formal investigation. The media would be in full meltdown mode. Twitter would be on fire. Sponsors would pull out. But when the roles are reversed, crickets. That kind of silence reeks of hypocrisy, and fans are done tolerating it. Caitlin Clark didn't ask for any of this. From the moment she stepped onto a WNBA court, she became a target, not for being disrespectful, not for showboating, just for being undeniably good. She's been elbowed, shoved, mocked, and now verbally attacked on national television, and she's never once retaliated. No flops, no dirty fouls, just basketball brilliance. Yet she's held to a higher standard than anyone else in the league. And that double standard has become impossible to ignore. What makes this moment even more toxic is the fact that it didn't come out of nowhere. There's a long, ugly trail of resentment trailing behind Griner's outburst. From memes mocking Clark as a white girl running from the fade to players intentionally ramming into her during inbound passes, the hostility has been constant. And it's not just physical, it's racial, it's personal, and it's calculated. Angel Reese didn't just like a meme, she reposted it. That's not passive behavior, that's intent, and the fans see it. The clip of Griner's remarks spread faster than any buzzer beater. Lip readers, analysts, and even neutral journalists confirmed the words, yet the WNBA refuses to acknowledge it. They investigated fans in Indiana over vague accusations of racism with zero verified evidence. But when a player drops a racial slur on live TV, they look the other way. That's not justice, that's favoritism. But then, this story takes a hard turn, straight into uncharted territory. A topless Instagram video posted by Griner herself resurfaced. No scars, flat chest, and Instagram's algorithm, notorious for flagging even the faintest nudity, left it up for 106 weeks. Why? Because the platform's AI likely classified it as male. That's right, the algorithm didn't flag it as female nudity. That's what started a new firestorm. Is Brittney Griner biologically male? Let's be clear. This isn't about conspiracy theories, it's about what's already viral. The rumor mill isn't whispering anymore, it's screaming. Combine that footage with Griner's deep voice, massive frame, and past anonymous leaks, claiming she was raised male, and you've got a situation that demands clarity. Not shame, not mockery, just truth. Because if a biological male is dominating women's basketball under false pretenses, the integrity of the sport is at stake. And then there's the Russia trade. Griner was arrested for cannabis possession and swapped for Victor Bout, an international arms dealer. That wasn't just a sports headline. That was geopolitics, national security. And yet, she returned. To a hero's welcome while still being treated like a victim. Now contrast that with Caitlin Clark, the league's biggest star, who can't even get a foul call in her favor. One is protected, the other is punished. The message is crystal clear. WNBA's priorities are backwards. Fans who just discovered the league because of Clark are appalled. They came to see greatness and found politics. They wanted competition and got corruption. When players throw punches, slurs, and insults, and the league does nothing, it tells new fans everything they need to know. And many are choosing to walk away. Despite all this, Caitlin Clark continues to shine. She signs jerseys, uplifts fans, stays calm under pressure, and delivers on the court. She is the WNBA's most valuable player, not just statistically, but spiritually. She brings eyes, excitement, and integrity to a league starving for relevance. And yet, she's the one eating elbows and slurs while her antagonists get a pass. The double standard has never been clearer. The league says it wants to grow the game, But how can it when it refuses to protect its brightest star? How can it claim to stand for equality when its silence speaks volumes about whose dignity really matters? Clark takes the hits. She stays silent. She keeps grinding. And the league? It's asleep at the wheel. But make no mistake, the fans are awake. They're watching. They're taking notes. They're seeing who the league shields and who it sacrifices. They're noticing the racial double standards, the selective outrage, and the absolute refusal to hold certain players accountable. And unless the WNBA course corrects immediately, it risks losing not just its newest fans, but its soul. And now here comes the firestorm. In the aftermath of Griner's outburst, social media hasn't just kept the clip alive. It's dissected it frame by frame. Forums, TikToks, and YouTube breakdowns have gone viral. The consensus is nearly universal. Griner said what she said. The footage is clear. The lip reading is accurate. And the intent is obvious. Fans are no longer asking, "Did she say it?" They're asking, "Why is nothing being done about it?" Even more disturbing, the league's silence is creating a dangerous precedent. It's saying loud and clear, if you're part of the WNBA's protected circle, you can get away with anything. Say what you want. Do what you want. Just make sure you're not the one bringing in the ratings, because if you are, like Clark, you're fair game. Meanwhile, fans are rallying around Caitlin Clark in unprecedented numbers. Every game she plays becomes an event. Every highlight gets millions of views. She's filling arenas. She's selling out merchandise. She's creating an entirely new fan base for women's basketball. And yet, she's being treated like an intruder. So let's flip the script. What would the league look like if it actually supported its stars instead of punishing them? What if it investigated real issues, held all players to the same standard, and stopped playing favorites based on ideology or narrative? What if Caitlin Clark was treated not as a threat, but as the gift she clearly is to the league? The WNBA can't grow while it bites the hand that feeds it, and Caitlin Clark is that hand. She's the present and the future of women's basketball. She's the spark that turned apathy into passion. And the more the league tries to ignore her, the louder the fans get. So if you're reading this and you believe in fairness, in consistency, in sportsmanship, now is the time to speak up. The WNBA might not be listening yet, but the world is. Drop a comment, share the clip, make your voice heard, because if they won't protect Caitlin Clark, the fans will. And if the WNBA doesn't wake up soon, it won't be Caitlin Clark who disappears from the court. It'll be the league itself. And here's the uncomfortable truth. The WNBA has reached a tipping point. It can no longer straddle the fence between justice and favoritism, between progress and politics. The fans are demanding more than slogans and hashtags. They're demanding action. If the league truly wants to be taken seriously, it must stop sweeping controversy under the rug and start showing consistency across the board. Protect all players or protect none. But don't cherry-pick accountability based on who's trending or who fits a narrative. The silence surrounding Griner's comment and the lack of transparency around her past aren't isolated incidents. They're part of a larger pattern of selective enforcement that alienates new fans, undermines trust, and erodes the league's foundation. Fans are no longer content to cheer blindly. They want to see a league that walks the talk, one that values integrity over image, accountability over alliances. And Caitlin Clark? She's still here, still scoring, still showing up, still proving that greatness doesn't need excuses, protection, or dirty tactics. She leads by example, not by controversy. And it's high time the WNBA followed her lead. Because if the WNBA keeps looking the other way, it won't just lose Caitlin Clark, it'll lose the very audience she brought with her.